What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Kind of Funny Screencast. As always, I'm Tim Gettys, joined by the big dog, Kevin Coelho.
Wow.
Barrett Courtney, who must be extremely hyped and excited this weekend because he got everything he's ever asked for. Boss Baby 2 trailer. How you feeling about it?
What's the subheadline for Boss Baby 2?
It's family time
family
or some
business.
shit?
Oh, God.
Family
Okay.
business.
Family
I
business,
wanted it to
that's
be
great.
back number 2 business, but I guess it's too similar to what they used for the Netflix show.
Yeah. Tim, yesterday I had 2 helpings of dinner last night. The first helping was this really cool turkey dish that we had. It wasn't like an actual full on turkey, but it was like this really nice
Really cool
almost like a
turkey dish.
turkey
Remember one time we had
pie
pigeon?
almost. So like this turkey pie, some really nice ham, stuffing. It was great. My second helping of dinner last night was at 12 o'clock last night with this episode of The Mandalorian because we got some motherfucking food today.
Let's
go.
Had to eat.
Food. Some
And of
good
course,
food.
we have Chastity Vicencio from GameSpot Universe.
Hey, what's up? I'm so excited to be talking about this today. Oh my God. Hi.
Thank you guys for joining me for this episode. I know it's a weird one because it is a holiday break. It's Black Friday. It's whatever you want it to be. Day after Thanksgiving. We're supposed to have today off, but we wanted to talk about Mandalorian because we knew that this shit was happening. Real quick, I just wanted to say right before we went live, I started the story and I cut myself off. Kevin was saying that he pulled an adult move last night and fell asleep at 10:30. I pulled an anti-adult move. I pulled an Andy Cortez where 2 nights ago, Gia and I started Queen's Gambit and we watched 4 episodes in one sitting. Where I was like, this shit is awesome.
It's
so good.
We
Oh
binged
my
through the
God.
entire thing on Wednesday. Like we took like a couple hour breaks in between like 4 and 5, and then we went right back in.
It just
That's essentially what we did because we had to go do some other Thanksgiving stuff. And then we came back and immediately like, we're finishing this out. We watched all of it. Then I watched Mando. Then I played more Miles. It's just what a great time. What a great time it is. Also though, Queen's Gambit. That is the most anime thing I've ever seen, and it is just
it is. It's a sports anime.
The best.
Blessings
Sports anime.
blessing tweet went was like on the front page of a Reddit like a subreddit. I forget which one it was. But yeah, him talking about like how it would just be better if they like went all Yu-Gi-Oh with it, which is the entire I saw that tweet before I started watching it, and it was all I could think about when watching that show, but it was so good. The one thing I wish that they focus a little more on the actual chess games, but that's just me.
Nah, chess games are boring.
They focused as much as humanly possible.
They did,
They handle
as much as
it's
they
the
could.
before and after.
With the important games, I wanted like just
But
a
like
little
it's just
like
it's so far
that's just
above
me.
us, you know what I mean?
Again,
Where
it's just like a minor personal
I
thing.
think they
That was-
nailed it with the before and after of like
Yeah.
you see them those 2 seconds before they start, and then right when the game is either about to end or just ended, and it's like the character's reaction reveals so much about who they are, and it's just like, what a show.
Dude, yeah, it's I actually watched the show because of Blessing's tweet. I saw that, I was like, I see where he's like what he's alluding to here. So I need to try
several
it.
times
And
to watch it.
man, it lived up to it, absolutely. But that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about The Mandalorian, season 2, chapter 13, The Jedi. They just fucking did it. We thought there was the rumors and we expected this to happen, and then it kind of just happened. Barrett, I want to start with you because you have been banging the Clone Wars Rebels drum for a very long time.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's all led to this. Where you at?
It's led to this, and it has in a way. I really like this episode. I was nervous about how they were gonna do Ahsoka live action, and it definitely took a little getting used to having Rosario Dawson play her, and it just like her being in live action in general, and not having like her usual voice and stuff like that. This was, interestingly enough, this was another setup episode. This wasn't the payoff. We got a lot of setup in this season to get to this setup episode, but it was still really, really good because there's a lot to talk about, not just with the implications of Ahsoka being here and what she's doing in this episode, but just like what happened in the episode itself was like really, really cool. Just a lot of cool action. I definitely want to talk about that, like that peak fight at the end, because there are really cool moments there. But yeah, I went in going nervous. I came out very excited for the future. Like this episode alone wasn't the end all be all. This was another setup, and we can talk about later of like where I think they'll go with it. But overall, I was happy with the live action debut of my girl Ahsoka Tano.
Kev, you being a little bit more outside of that stuff, what do you think?
It was tight. They did a good job. They kept me like I really liked the fight scenes. A lot of good stuff the whole time. Maybe too much explanations about Baby Yoda and his name. Some people, like,
Hey man, don't hate on Grogu, okay?
God,
Some Grogu.
That's our
Grogu.
son.
I don't like it.
His
Guys.
name is Grogu. You have to accept it, okay?
I'm gonna keep calling him the kid.
The kid.
Kid.
You've never
Kid.
ever called him the kid.
Yodelini it is.
Baby Yoda, or
Yodelini.
we call him Yodelini, okay?
Yodelini.
Chastity, what about
A
you?
child with many names. I think we got a lot of stuff in this episode that we don't usually get. We usually get bits and pieces, right? But I feel like we got a lot of food here today. We got like Baby Yoda's backstory. We got a name reveal. We got Ahsoka. We got connections to Rebels, Star Wars lore. Thrawn's name was thrown in the mix.
That's tight.
I didn't know that there would be this much Ahsoka in this episode. The way that they were treating cameos in the past, I thought we'd get a little bit, or she'd be like a B plot, but she was the entire episode, and I'm stoked about that.
Yeah, I was definitely
loved
nervous.
it.
It was going to be
Yeah.
one of those things where we didn't see her until like the last 5 minutes, and to
Mm-hmm.
start off the episode with that fight in the forest where she's doing these dope, like she's almost like she's kind of using the fog to
She's
disappear, but
scary,
also
dude.
using the force. Yeah, she was scary as hell. And again, like this is our first time, at least in like a TV or
Live action.
yeah, live action, whatever, that we've seen her since her stuff in Rebels, and to see how much she is grown even more as a force wielder since then, because she was already pretty capable in Rebels. It's just like so fucking rad.
She left the Jedi Order, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's kind of like in between. She's
Yeah.
like not quite a Jedi, not Sith at all. She's definitely in that gray area. for
She's the
sure.
closest to like the gray Jedi thing that people like
Right.
want. She is the closest character. We'll get to that.
Yeah, I think that everybody that watched this episode's first reaction is, oh shit, at the beginning. Because it's like, I think that they very purposefully started with that shot where it's like, yeah, this isn't a B plot. Like, we're going, there's lightsabers, motherfucker. Like, we're going all out.
Those white
And I
lightsabers
love
so cool.
just so
So
cool.
good.
I love the commitment to just, yeah, this is going to be a story about Ahsoka. It's going to be more of a samurai take on Mandalorian than we've seen before. Like, usually we're used to like Westerns, and like, this is it.
No, there's
I-
definitely
yeah.
a good combination of the two, especially
Totally.
with that end
Oh, yeah.
fight.
Yeah,
like the
the two
juxtaposition of like
fights.
the like the Western shootout that's like slow and tense, and the same thing with the almost like the samurai fight that we get with Ahsoka and that I keep forgetting her name. It was like Morgan something, but
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan
Yes,
Elizabeth.
Morgan Freeman. Ahsoka
Yeah.
I
Tano's
just call
fight
her
with
the
Morgan Freeman.
magistrate because they said her
Yeah.
name once.
Yeah,
Magistrate's
but
a
like
dope ass word, by
Yeah.
the way.
Morgan
to come
Elizabeth?
back
It's
and
better than her name, Morgan
Yeah.
Elsbeth.
Yeah,
um,
that's it. Elspeth.
to go back and forth between those two, where one is like an actual like fight, and the other is just like this like tension buildup, was just really really cool to see that kind of like back and forth, because obviously, yeah, we've talked about before of like there's a lot of Western inspiration here, and definitely some samurai
samurai film stuff, yeah, for
inspiration, but to
sure.
see it like so blatantly in this episode, I really appreciate it. I like it a lot.
I thought it really worked, and I thought that they did a good job with the choreography of this entire episode, and like the blocking and everything. It just was very, very, very thoughtful, and I feel like they Filoni knew what he had to do with this episode. I think that he really kind of accomplished it. But all of the buildup, like I do agree with Chastity that this is simultaneously an amazing setup episode and an amazing payoff episode, where I'm more into the show now than I ever was. And I feel like that's been continuing this entire season. And that's great that they can keep delivering that. And like, where is he going now? Like, who is he going to? And I think that is so great that like they've set up so many different threads that we're interested in. Whereas last season, we just wanted to get back to the Baby Yoda plot line. Like, where's he from? What's going on? That's all we wanted. Whereas this one, every time it's like, I want to know what's up with Boba Fett. I want to know what's up with Ahsoka. I want to know what's up with Bo-Katan. Like, they're doing such a good job just kind of like throwing it all out, but keeping every episode continuing of Mando and the baby moving forward.
Like
right?
they are the through line. Yeah.
I will say though that this is the first time this season that I was like, damn it, I wish the budget was larger for this show, because it is, I feel like it was just so ambitious that I'm not hating on it, because I think they did a really good job. I just wish that this one deserved more, because there's a lot.
This episode especially, there was this feeling of like, man, like they definitely did what they could in this episode. Like some shots, of course, like we get Ahsoka jumping and stuff, but like because of it being live action, they had to do some cuts where it's like obviously like Rosario Dawson just kind of like jumped a little bit so you could get her landing. There's like little things like that where it was like, okay. But yeah, they did what they could with this episode, I think, visually and action wise, but it was still like overall, I did enjoy it.
Yeah. So let's get into some theories and shit. Where the hell are they going?
So the next episode is going to be like go to the top of the mountain, Baby Yoda does something, and
so
potentially it calls
Jedi.
over people.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat just said they like were naming people that it could be, and they threw Mace Windu's name out there of like potentially people that still could be alive, and I don't hate that. You know what I mean?
I hate that so much.
I don't think he's alive.
I don't think that.
I
I don't
don't
think he's alive.
The stupidest lore things that Star Wars ever did. And sure, it ended up being cool. They made it all work, but it's dumb as shit.
If he was alive, I feel like he would have been brought into Rebels somehow. So yeah, the planet she mentions is Tython, which I'm unfamiliar with. I did some research. It seems to be a legacy planet that they're bringing back into canon. I could be a little incorrect with that, but that's
First ever Jedi temple, supposedly.
What wasn't that in the movie? The thing that
yeah,
Luke
that was the planet that Luke was on, I think, wasn't it? But that Tython might have been like what the first Jedi
official
temple was. In the like the legacy stuff, so they might be contextualizing it, bringing it back and stuff. And
like,
so,
a key thing here, Barrett, before you go on, is that they said that like the backstory of Grogu, is that it? Grogu is
Son
that
Grogu.
during Order 66 that somebody got him out of the temple, right? So they had to have been on Coruscant at that time, right? That's like all that we know. Yeah. And then theoretically they still exist, but they don't necessarily need to still be alive. So I don't know.
They could have died.
Yeah.
They could have gotten him out, and then they could have been killed.
It sounded like then Grogu was captured and seemingly tortured, right? And that's why
we
he
knew
had
that.
Well, his memory was dark. He was hidden in
but
that
like, so
weird
couldn't he like
bunker place? What happened between them getting him out and him being found?
That's a significant. That's like roughly. That's like almost at the beginning of this show when he was found. That's roughly almost 40 years, I think, in between Order 66 and like Mando finding him. So
it's a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, like, who, even just top level, who could it be? Who are Jedi that we know are alive at this point, or assume are alive at this point? There's Luke. There's
Cal Kestis.
Which would be fucking amazing.
You know what I mean? But
Ezra Bridger.
Wait, is Cal Kestis confirmed to be alive at this point?
No, but he's not confirmed any
He's
which
not
way.
dead,
That's true.
He's not dead. They could still.
Who brought up Ezra?
I said Ezra Bridger. I'm like, Ezra Bridger? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people in play here from Rebels.
I don't think it will
some
be
Rebels
Ezra.
Connections.
Because here's the thing is, and this will be like another kind of thread that we talk about with the name drop in this episode, is this the reason I feel like this is a setup episode, because this feels like I forget the official term, but like a soft pilot almost of a new Ahsoka show. In search for this character Thrawn, and I don't want to spoil too much because, of course, before I say anything else, fucking watch Star Wars Rebels. I've been telling y'all for years at this point. Watch this show. It is not
boring.
It's a quick binge.
Kevin, you haven't even fucking tried an episode. So
That's
please.
not true. Oh my god, you don't know what you're
episodes.
talking about. You sound dumb.
I like
Also, you have to
that's
hang
all
in
he had
there,
to say.
'cause
Like he had no like other real proof
the
to
show
say that he's
finds
actually.
its like Clone Wars. It finds its footing up in season 1. You got to
Yeah,
stick with
and that's
it,
what I
and
said.
then it's
That's
just
what I
like
said last week
nonstop,
too.
go go
is-
go.
Yeah, is that Filoni shows like take a little bit and then because it took me forever to get through the first season of Clone Wars, and then it started getting good. And similar with Rebels, where like the end of season 1, Rebels is like, oh shit, like this is what they're doing. This is gonna be really cool.
Then season 2 will hook you in.
Yes, and so I don't think because there's this whole question of like is the Ahsoka stuff going to continue in this show or not? I don't think it is. And I think she's going to get a separate show. Is it going to be that rumored new animated show with 2 female leads, assuming to be Ahsoka and Sabine? Is it going to be live action with Rosario Dawson? Who knows? And so because I think that's going to be a thing, I don't think we get Ezra in this. So I don't think Ezra is going to be the Jedi that is called. It could be a dead Jedi. We could get a Force ghost. So that was kind of like where my line of thought went. It could be as simple
But
as
there's
Yoda.
there's not that many Force ghosts, right? Because Qui-Gon Jinn is the one that developed the
Yeah, he was like
strategy
the one
behind
who
it.
like
What?
the technology.
Technology.
the technique.
Ghost tech.
And then
we have
we
the technology.
Yoda, Luke, Anakin, Obi-Wan.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anakin.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan.
Which like I don't believe that Anakin like when did Anakin learn the technique and then like you know what I mean? Like
He
I feel
can
like
do
Anakin
anything.
just got the
He's
free
Anakin.
pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he can
Well,
de-age
there
himself
was
as
a lot
ghost.
of time where he was doing like a lot of his own research stuff on
Yeah,
the,
but he
the
didn't.
dark side of things.
He didn't know about it up to the point where he kills Obi-Wan because he
Ghosts can
clearly is
talk,
like.
though. I feel like once they die, they can learn more shit. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
you gotta
yeah.
I guess
imagine
you're
that
right,
like
yeah.
Palpatine knew about that at some point of like the whole Force Ghost thing.
He knew everything, so yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So
Dude,
a
yeah.
key thing you brought up Yoda, Barrett. They did play bits of Yoda's theme during the scene with
Yeah,
Ahsoka talking.
Yeah,
So it's like,
I did.
It could
pick
be
up on
Yoda.
that.
Although we saw Yoda in the movies, like that'd be. I mean, I guess they could have had all they would need to do is give us like a flashback of Yoda going through the crates. Kev, give me your impression. Thank you.
Oh,
It's really
I don't know
good.
if
It's
it's like-
really
and then it cuts
good.
over and he just
I don't
grabs
know
Yoda
if
Leedy
it-
to go.
I don't know if it's
He was doing it with his mind. Tim.
if the
Using
Jedi
the
who
Force.
is called. I don't know. It needs to be the Jedi that got him out.
No,
you
no,
know?
I think those are separate Jedi for sure.
Yeah, and the
Jedi.
oh shit, where was I going to go with this? The question that I have, because like now that we have confirmation that Yodelini was actually like a part of the Jedi Temple, was like kind of secretly brought out of Coruscant and stuff. Like, is there a connection to Yoda? In some lineage, there's also that other Yoda creature from like Episode 1.
Yaddle.
I forget the name of that. Yeah, that
Yaddle.
people
Oh
are
yeah,
obsessed.
never
yeah.
forget Yaddle.
But it is interesting that Ahsoka said she only knows one creature like
Well,
Grogu,
they've been trying to
so-
Maybe she never
retroactively-
met Yaddle.
Yeah, I
'Cause
imagine Yaddle might
I
have died in
just
between
learned
1
this.
and 2.
I just learned this, but Yaddle just left the council
Oh.
after Episode 1 before Clone Wars. My coworker told me that last night, and then apparently, yeah, I think she died in Order 66, but
Okay.
off screen. No
So yeah, like because their species seems so rare in this universe, like is there a connection there? I don't know.
The thing for me though is like really trying to think of where the show's going. I think it's interesting that we still have 3 episodes this season. Like this wasn't the finale. It very much could have been, right? So
Yeah.
it's like we know that we still have like the quest for him to take the baby somewhere, blah blah blah. But at what point is that plot going to change? Because I don't know that it can. Because the thing is, I can't imagine this show where the Mandalorian actually gives up the kid.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like even if he goes to
And
the
if
next, the
that
next
is the
Jedi,
situation, it's got to be the last episode of the
whole
series,
show.
and it's
Yeah,
like
him giving him away to
dying
someone
or
else.
something. Yeah.
So it's like, and this episode really built up the bond between them in a way that we've seen it and like
So
loved it the last
cute.
couple
When he went
episodes.
for
But
the little
Such a
ball.
proud dad.
When
Oh
he got
my
the little ball out
God.
of his pocket, I was
Yes.
like, I knew they were setting up for something, but you bastards got me.
yeah,
was
Such
so
a
real.
proud
they were
dad.
playing Jedi catch, man.
They were.
Yeah, it's just great though. But I loved, so obviously the allusions to Anakin and like the idea of all the fear and anger
warning
and
and
stuff.
stuff
It's
like
like,
that,
oh damn, this is so
She
good.
still feels
Again,
bad about it.
watch Rebels.
But-
Because she might learn, like, that show might be the show where she learns about that specific stuff. Watch
But
Rebels.
it's so good with the bond between Mando and Yoda and Grogu. It's like, where are they going with this? It's like, because I just feel like the end game has to be he gives him away and that's the end of the series. There's no chance he just gives him to a Jedi and then leaves. Like, I don't know. It's I'm very happy that I don't know where it's going because we have so many threads right now that I'm interested in that I feel like I trust them at this point. They kind of have earned that.
Yeah. I agree that it's probably not going to happen this season that like they separate. Like that's the whole arc of the season is them being like a father-son duo and wherever I go he goes type of thing. So yeah, that's going to be the cliffhanger at the end when they have to separate.
I could see like a forced separation at some point, and maybe we get a little time without Yodelini and Mando trying to find him again. My question is like how with these threads, and I do like the not knowing where this is all going to end up. Like the question that I've been thinking about, especially the last couple of weeks, is like how long do we see this show going for? Like how long can it go for?
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's interesting because like right now it's very much being used as a vehicle to legitimize Star Wars and legitimize the cartoons, really.
Yeah.
It's like Ahsoka is now a real character in people's minds, that in more people's minds is what I mean to say.
Yeah,
it's brilliant. It's going to get a lot of people to watch Clone Wars and Rebels.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's like I think that they're obviously doing that, but it's like there's not much more they can do. So at some point, we're already getting teases of like what Barrett was bringing up about the Emperor Episode 9 stuff, of like, okay, we're gonna get some answers to questions we had about the sequel trilogy. But it's like, at what point, like, do we get Han? Do we get Luke? Do we get like original characters, original trilogy characters in this?
We'll never get
they're
Han.
gonna keep that
If we get
separate.
Han, here's the thing: if we get Han, it's going to be Alden Ehrenreich, and none of y'all are going to be happy.
It
about
will.
that.
No, it 100% will.
I will be happy with that because I personally liked him as Han Solo, but I just kind of had like this moment where is Yodelini going to be essentially the part of the attempt of Luke bringing back the Jedi Order? Like, is he going to be part of that like
Probably.
class that Kylo Ren helped kill and shit like that?
Oh
like,
God, what a tragic end that would
I
be.
could
for
see
Son
the show
Grogu.
ending with like Yodelini getting to Luke. I could see.
Here's all that I want, and like I know that at this point I'm just being a like fan servicey crybaby, but like at the end of the day, isn't that kind of what this show is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I fucking want is at some point, I don't care where it is, I don't care if it's in this show, but I want it in this show. Just give me Luke with his green lightsaber. Can you please just do that for me? That's all the fuck I want to see.
And honestly, what's his name? Winter Soldier. Have him play
Sebastian Stan.
Yeah, Sebastian Stan
Hell
coming.
yeah.
He's
Oh
the
my
right
God,
age,
yes.
man. He's the right
Yes,
age. That would be
dude.
dope.
I
as
feel like
hell.
now we're fantasizing.
He's already
too
in the
hard.
Disney
It's
Plus
not
pocket.
gonna-
No, here's the thing though, Kevin, is
There's
like
no
people
limit
have
with
been
this show.
yeah, people have been kind of like, I don't think as hardcore asking for that as they did for Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, but that was like fan casting for years, and
Really?
we finally
Oh, yeah.
got that. So like that wasn't just like a random thing. Like people have been asking for that, and so like they could go all out and like do another moment like that. I think it would be a little tougher with a character that was already live action with a very famous actor who like made that role. So I don't know if they'd be as confident doing that, but like I'd be fucking down.
They already did it. They did it with Han, right? Disney
It
doesn't give a
didn't
fuck.
work well.
They'll do that, but they don't give a shit. They're just doing stuff.
People think that movie didn't. It personally works for me.
Yeah, I know.
do
It's 'cause you
recognize
had
their
bad
problem.
taste, though.
I recognize that there are problems with that movie, but I personally enjoy it. I don't think Alden Ehrenreich was the problem with that movie. Anyway,
Back to Mando.
I'm
love
just
you.
reminded
I
that I
love
hate
you,
talking
Barrett.
about Star Wars with
I
Kevin.
love you,
so-
Barrett. Rogue One's
Right.
great, though, right? We could both agree on that, right?
No, we can't.
God, he's just such a bad guy, Kevin. such a little fuck.
What?
Oh man.
Oh,
But-
what was the? There was a term from Queen's Gambit that was really funny, and I forget. It was something. It was like
Such a good
ferocious
show.
little fuck or something like that. That said, and I just loved it, and I want to keep using that.
Something else I really enjoyed about this episode is it continued the tradition of it feeling like a video game. Like, I didn't expect Mando to get a new weapon, but
Yeah,
he
that was
did.
dumb as hell.
So now
You
he
can't
has
just
the
carry that
Beskar
around though. Yeah, is he
spear.
gonna melt it
Yeah,
down or is
it's
he gonna use it?
huge.
No, I feel
Like I
he's
wish
gonna
it
do with that
collapsed
thing?
a little bit.
Yeah.
He's gonna do something with it. Like it's going to be
Yeah, he's
used
gonna
for
stab
something
someone in the
epic.
throat.
Damn right. But like, but it's hard to transport and just walk around with.
But doesn't he have a big thing on his back already?
Yeah,
He's got like
rocket
the
launcher.
Yeah.
he's got the like the pokey electric thing that also shoots people and blows them
Yeah.
up in
No,
one
the-
shot.
isn't that his
that's
gun?
the long thing.
Yeah,
It is a gun, but it can also like electrocute
Yeah,
people
yeah,
at the
he
tips
used
and
it in
shit,
like
yeah.
the second episode to like electrocute a giant whale, space whale.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about this because I love that he's just continuously upgrading and like the fact that all the Beskar stuff pays off this
Dude.
season that was built up last season.
Can we talk about like the fight scene where he first meets
Ahsoka?
and like
Yeah.
he's just blocking with his arms and it's like
It's
oh
so
shit
Yeah.
that's
such a
so
cool-
sick.
because it's pure
Yeah.
Beskar and stuff. Now some David Ra Hughes in the chat says he'll use it for his fight against Gus Fring.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
AKA like that's a cool setup there because yeah, he's got the black saber or the dark saber, and yeah, I could only because like the fight with it in this episode was really I liked how it was used, and I liked the setup of like Mando using his armor and then the lady being able to the magistrate being able to use the spear. Yeah, I could definitely see
Dark
that.
Saber versus that Beskar spear. That sounds pretty badass. I would
It
love to
sounds
see
so
that.
cool because they're both Mando weapons too. So it's just like, oh my
Oh,
god,
oh,
Filoni
do you
is
think-
so.
Do you think we get a shot of
Filoni's
like
on a fucking another level, y'all.
do we think we get a shot
This
of him
show
like
is so
top
good.
level Mandalorian with Mandalorian spear, the black saber? I don't know. Is there some sort of shield that he can get that's also Mandalorian? I guess the
Maybe
armor
at
he
this
has.
point. Like we've got a Beskar spear, so he could get a Beskar shield or something.
All Beskar, everything.
I got some nerd ass questions for you, nerd ass motherfuckers, Chastity and Barrett, when
Well,
it comes
fuck
to
you
Clone
then.
Wars and Rebels. Kevin, I just want to know you don't know the
I can
answer
just
to
Google
this.
it, Tim. I can just Google it.
You refuse
So-
to watch the shows. You can't answer questions.
I've never said I
okay?
refuse to watch it.
Ahsoka's lightsabers. Two questions. One, why are they white? No, three questions. One, why are they white? Two, why are they so skinny? And three, why?
You should have seen them in
how,
Rebels.
How did she like pull them apart? Like, how do they
That
go
was
together?
tight.
And
That was tight.
it's cool, but it's I don't
Doesn't make
understand
any
how it
sense.
works.
Yeah.
So
Do
she's
they
always
explain any
had
of that stuff?
she's always had two lightsabers. The white sabers are more recent, but they're still her like trademark sabers. And yeah, she's always, and I like that they had the one long one and the one Shoto, the shorter one. So like they kept that detail. And I think
cool
the
as fuck.
book the
tight.
book Ahsoka goes into exactly why she has white lightsabers. Do you want to go into that more, Barrett? Like
I have
forgot.
not read. I have not read
Yeah.
the book,
let's
so
leave
I do
books.
not know. They are shown in Rebels, but I don't think they go into
Yep.
why she has them in Rebels. So she's
But
had
they
them
are
for
her
a bit.
lightsabers, yeah.
Yeah. I love the little detail of it being she still had the shorter one, which if
Does the white have to do with the whole gray thing?
possibly.
It had something to do with kyber crystals, and
thematically.
I think she stole some that, and then did something with it to make them white.
Okay, yeah.
What
somebody
I,
was
what I
saying
was really
she
asking though
healed-
is they're not like the dark saber is special. These aren't white special.
No, these are
She
just
basically
like, these are
modded
just-
them.
Okay.
Yeah, but
and
she's
it,
always
like,
had two.
If are these hilts still? Are these the same ones that Anakin gifted her at the end of Clone Wars?
Were they white? They might have
They
been, because
weren't
that's what I
white. She might have swapped out the crystals. Is what
Yeah.
I'm asking. Because yeah, those
and
were
then
still
she
blue.
drops one, and he finds it in that shot.
Oh right, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But she could have kept the other one and just made a second one. Made a new.
But why are they so
Shoto.
skinny? That's my other question.
They're
I think that
skinnier in
was-
Rebels.
I want to say that was probably a choice because
They're
of how
actually,
skinny they are in Rebels, which is like I
Yeah,
do
they're-
like
they're thicker
the
here.
animation style in both shows. That is my one thing about Rebels is like they're so like almost awkwardly skinny in that show that it's just it's kind of off-putting, but you get used to it. It's not like a huge thing.
In canon, they like the blades are different width. They just haven't been super explored in the actual movies. But we have seen. Obviously, we know Kylo Ren has the like corrupted one that like does the on the blade.
Wait,
What?
I'm just looking up.
I'm
Googled
sorry I couldn't
the-
answer your question, Tim, because I didn't read the book. Because
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
I don't
You
read a lot
answered
of
enough.
Yeah,
I
reading
just
for
wanted to
nerds.
know-
I agree with everyone.
More
I
special
don't read
than
a lot of
just
the
a
books,
color.
but I gave you a starting point.
But I just YouTubed the Darth Maul Obi-Wan fight that I've seen before, and it,
From Rebels?
yeah, and like, oh my God, these are
They're
Kevin.
so-
I'm gonna send you a link to this, and then
Are you
Yeah,
looking at the
I've seen
lightsabers?
yeah, yeah,
You're looking at the
They're
lightsaber
so
sets?
weird.
really
Stop.
thin. Yeah.
They're so thin. They're like needles.
it looks like a
Also,
joke.
A fun fact, that was I think the actual first thing I pulled up on Disney Plus. I pulled up that episode and
Twin
I watched
Sons?
that episode. Yeah.
Kev, go to
Dude.
1 minute
So
13
good.
seconds. Like what?
The first time we see
They're
lightsabers,
thin.
they're pretty thin. In
A New Hope.
yeah.
But yeah, wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty
that's
funny.
really
to
This
me.
is like
Some narrow
noticeably
ass, yeah.
thin.
Yeah. It
It
is.
has different
takes
settings.
getting
They
used
can
to.
they can change the settings on the lightsabers.
That's true.
Oh, that's the wrong one.
Anyway, I'm really stoked about this episode. Do you
Yeah.
guys have any closing thoughts?
We didn't talk about Thrawn.
Yeah.
Barrett, how do you feel about Thrawn?
Oh my god.
So
So
Ahsoka's looking for
I
Thrawn.
want. There's so much I want to say, but again, I want people to watch Rebels, so I don't want to spoil things for people.
But like,
We
But
can give
essentially,
some
not
base
going,
level
you know?
stuff.
there's a character that Thrawn is with. The last time we've seen Thrawn in a show, he is with a specific character. And I believe that Ahsoka is trying to find like that. Thrawn was last seen with this character, and I think that's the person Ahsoka is really trying to find. And so again, that's why I think this is a setup episode, because I think this is like a backdoor pilot to another Ahsoka show in search for this character specifically.
I
And
think it's
with
safe to say that
like,
that she was with another character and who is a Mandalorian.
yes,
I
yeah,
don't-
we
I
did
don't
get,
like
we
all
did get
the
Sabine
vagueness.
this episode, which
Upsetting.
was my first thought when the episode ended. But I don't mind it too much, but yeah, because they can explain it of like maybe Sabine is going after another lead and stuff like that. I do question if we'll actually get her in this show. That'll be
I'd like to
interesting.
see her again, regardless if it's this
Yeah.
show or not.
Yeah,
but-
and I wonder if Ahsoka even comes back to this show.
I hope
Um,
she does.
I don't know.
I hope
Yeah,
she does
like,
too.
I
Maybe
don't.
she'll
If
have a
she
small
does,
part.
I don't think it'll be much. I don't think it'll be much.
I don't love how much like they made Yodelini like they gave him like a, oh man, he's been around for a while, people have been teaching him stuff. It's like, man, last episode he had trouble connecting different colored plugs.
He's not a technician, Kevin.
And I am,
No, but,
you know what I mean?
Kev,
You're the
immediately
most
I
technician
had,
of all of us.
Electrician.
I had a similar like
They
reaction
didn't
that you
have
did.
that class
Yeah.
at the Jedi Temple.
But he didn't. It didn't say that he had training. It just said he was there.
Oh, I
So I
thought
think
they,
that he was
I thought
still-
they
No,
said
no,
that,
there
that
was
he
a
was
lot-
trained by several people.
He was trained by several Jedi.
Masters.
But I think that it like the read I had from it with because I went back with subtitles to like see it all. It sounded less like he was actually being formally trained. It's just that he had like, why would he have a couple different masters? I think it was more like he was around them and like learned some shit. But like,
He watched them do shit, and he was like,
Well,
"Oh,
yeah.
I
When,
might be
when we
able
saw
to do
like
this."
the youngling classes, like Yoda was teaching a class, I'm sure there were other teachers that for like different subjects and things like that.
Yeah, but I feel like
Yeah.
we've seen him
Showing
in a
them where
class where
planets
he's
were.
just like sitting there like sucking on an eraser or something. It's just like I feel like I wish they were
stealing
doing it
kids'
better.
macarons.
Right. I wish
you
they
can
had
buy
just
now.
done a slightly
Disney.com's
better.
flash store.
Really?
Yeah,
They're like
$50.
$50.
Oh my god! Fuck
Holy
that.
shit.
Just make your own, Jesus.
I just kind of wish they had done a better job at like aging him up slightly. Just because like I'm ready for him to start trying to talk. You know what I mean?
He's
No.
baby.
I
Once
think
he starts talking, he can't
baby.
stop talking. You know.
I think we
so
might.
cute. Look at him. Oh no.
I don't like that.
I didn't like that. That
was
went
weird.
too far.
Put it back. Put it back. Put it back. I think we could get like a first word or two in this show, maybe.
All right, and then the next season starts
It's
200
dead.
years in the future. Mando's dead. This little
What
guy's
if he
now
just said
talking
something hella
about.
racist, you know? And it's like, oh shit,
far,
stop, Yoda.
So yeah, just the name drop of Thrawn was really exciting, and again, it leads to questions of if they do a separate Ahsoka show, is that live action? Is it animated? I'd prefer it be animated, but there's someone was already like fan casting Thrawn. One for like live action. One of the ones was Benedict Cumberbatch, and it was like, all right, well, he already did
that's
that
how you
in
say his
Star
name.
Trek, kind of.
Yeah, he's
But it
good
would-
though. He would be
he
perfect.
is good, and he could pull off the look, I think. But yeah, it's really interesting, the implications. I feel like Filoni is building up to something else that I don't think we'll see in this show, which was what I was kind of expecting. I wasn't expecting Ahsoka to be a major player in the show overall. I thought she would deliver some important overall lore stuff. Continue Mando's story, but I didn't think she would like start to be like a main character in this show. The other thing I want to shout out, or there's two last things. I just want to shout out that fight between Ahsoka and the Magistrate, just because it felt like a good combination of a prequel choreographed fight and like the original trilogy fights, where it was definitely choreographed. These looked like trained fighters, which is like more of what we see in the prequel movies, but it felt more slow, methodical, like the original trilogy, which
Yeah.
is why I really dug it. And then the last thing I want to shout out is, of course, why can't I find
The owl.
Yes, the name of the owl, which I
Morai.
can't.
Morai.
So, Morai, which is a connection to some crazy, weird ass lore from Star Wars: The Clone Wars. There's this owl that you see in a shot right before Mando meets Ahsoka.
He's walking through the
which-
forest. It's in the top left, 15 minutes, 31 seconds.
Okay.
There's the owl.
And so the last time we saw the owl, I think, was in Rebels. The owl kind of looks out for Ahsoka. Helped Ezra kind of save Ahsoka at one point in Rebels, and it's kind of insinuated that the owl is connected to the daughter from Star Wars: The Clone Wars. Really nerdy shit that we don't really need to get into, but the fact that the owl is there, obviously, because Filoni's all up in this. He wanted to continue that thread of the owl kind of overlooking Ahsoka, which again makes me feel like Filoni is building up to something major with Ahsoka in a separate thing, because there's got to be a payoff with why this owl deems Ahsoka important and why the owl like kind of like wants
What?
to like keep tabs on her.
Why does Sabine have the owl painted on her armor?
I am not sure.
You know what I'm talking
remember.
about? In the last episode?
Is it the same owl?
I mean, it's an owl. I don't know how many. Like, I feel like we
I don't know
don't
if
see
it's
owls
Jeff.
too much in
Fair.
Star Wars.
Also, it's called a convor, but that's just nerdy shit. But yeah, this owl owned. That's like a magical owl, but it's been protecting Ahsoka her entire life, and I completely agree that this felt like Filoni just pitching his pilot. I'm like, here's my pilot, let's go.
Yeah.
And they're
Oh,
like,
I
cool.
did mean Bo-Katan.
Everyone loved it.
Not Sabine.
Okay, yeah, I was confused. Also.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't even know who Sabine is.
I think that was just her. I think Bo-Katan's thing is just like her like clan's crest or something. I forget.
Got it.
Von Mage says the owl's the Night Watch symbol.
Oh yeah, that makes
Different
sense.
owl.
Which is different from Death Watch.
No, she was part of
No,
Death
we're-
Watch.
Yeah.
So-
she was in Death Watch. Yeah. So not Night's Watch.
Bo
Death Watch.
Katan?
Yeah.
Kevin, every time you say a character's
Yes.
name, like why are you
Bo-Katan.
always so unsure?
It's Bo-Katan.
Is that
It's Bo-Katan.
Bo-Katan. All right.
Yeah,
Settlers
she
of
was
Catan.
originally part of Death Watch, and then she left. Where that happens, I'm a little hazy because it's been a minute since I've rewatched the shows, which I want to do soon. I kind of want to rewatch or going through Mandalorian this season has been making me more and more want to do a full Star Wars canon rewatch this Christmas break, which I think I'm gonna do. I've
Well,
been
speaking of
hesitant about
breaks.
doing that because of episode 9, but that's about it.
Let's get back to our breaks, everybody. Have a good Thanksgiving weekend out there. Thank you guys for spending some time talking about this stuff. It was awesome. Till next week. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.